So I'm going to open up my Management Studio, new query, use the AdventureWorks database, and I'm going to create a brand new category. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off with the SQL statement, and I'm going to say insert into production product category. And let's put in the name column there. There we go. And then I'm going to say values, and then I'm going to put in my name variable. Now, one little thing that I always like to do is I always like to make sure that my column names match the parameter names. Just makes my life that much easier. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to return back the newly generated ID by selecting what's known as the scope identity, and that's just going to grab for you the most recently generated ID. So what I want you to notice here is really, for the most part, straightforward SQL. I've got my insert statement, and I've got my select scope identity. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up to the very top here, a couple of character turns, click right here, create procedure, specify the name that I want to use. So let's say production. And then just like before, I do want a little prefix here to identify that this is a store procedure. You do, by the way, not want to use SP underscore because that, generally speaking, indicates some form of a system store procedure. So you could use like UP for user procedure or USP for user store procedure. I like UP. And then I'm going to say underscore category underscore insert. Now, one little thing about my naming here is you'll notice that I've got the name of the table and I've got the command that I'm going to execute. And if you're going to be using store procedures quite heavily, I love this naming syntax because it makes it that much easier to find the store procedure that I'm looking for, or on the flip side, make sure that the store procedure that I'm looking for actually exists. And if it doesn't, then I can go back and create it. I need my parameters, so I'm going to say at name, and then I'm going to say varchar, and let's say 50. Now at this point, if I wanted to, I could set this equal to a default value. I don't, but I could if I wanted to. And then I'm just going to come right down here, and I'm going to say as. And just like that, I've now got my brand new store procedure. So let's go ahead and execute that. That'll create our store procedure. And let's test it. So I'm going to open up a new query window. Let's first declare a name. So I'm going to say declare name, make it a varchar 50. And I'm going to use a little brand new SQL 2012 feature where I can set the value right where I declare it. And I'm going to set this to be created from procedure. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute my store procedure by saying exec, and then production dot up underscore category underscore insert. Now from here, what I could do is I could say at name equals, and then set it equal to my parameter, or I could just simply pass in the parameter just like I've got right there. So now, if I fix my name, make it production instead, which is really what it is, and I hit execute, what you're going to notice is that it returned back to me the ID that it generated. So in this case, it happened to generate an ID of 1008. So if I come down here and I say select, and let's say name from production product category, where product category ID equals 1008, what we're going to notice is, sure enough, it's created from procedure. There is how we can create and call our store procedures, and I'm going to see you in the next lesson.